SAFM, South Africa's news and information leader.
Thanks. Nancy Sata eyes Chinese mines to help Zambia's poor. And Health Minister says drastic steps are needed to curb spread of non-communicable diseases. Good afternoon. Zambia's newly elected President Michael Sata has vowed to ensure that ordinary Zambians benefit from China's heavy investment in mining. He was speaking at the Supreme Court complex in the capital Lusaka, where he'll be sworn in shortly. Earlier, outgoing President Rupiah Banda accepted defeat and stepped down. He urged his supporters in Africa's biggest copper producer to accept the result peacefully. SABC senior specialist reporter Mahlatse Gallens is in Lusaka.
The second independence, that's how some Zambians are describing the election win by President-elect Michael Sata. The car hoots are blaring in the streets as crowds chant the Patriotic Front slogan for change. Young and old are dancing and holding placards bearing the face of President Sata. His inauguration is expected shortly. Mahlatse Gallens, SABC News, Lusaka, Zambia.
Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi says drastic steps are urgently needed to curb the spread of non-communicable diseases in South Africa. He's just returned from the UN's meeting on the prevention and control of non-communicable diseases in the United States. Motsoaledi says health ministers from across the globe have been challenged to address the problem of escalating cases on non-communicable diseases in their countries. Motsoaledi has called on the international community to put pressure on the food industry to reduce harmful foodstuff and promote healthy lifestyles globally.
We believe that if we don't take very serious steps about the non-communicable diseases, many countries, rich and poor, will not be able to afford their health budgets, at least in the next 2 decades. If we must win the battle against non-communicable diseases, the drugs that are being used there must also, in terms of our drug policy, we need to look into that.
Work has resumed at the multi-billion rand construction site of the Hoop Dam in Limpopo. This after workers downed tools 2 weeks ago after complaining about unfair labor treatment by a site manager. Water Affairs Department spokesperson Linda Page says they've reached an agreement with the Labour Forum to end the strike. Page says the department will resolve any outstanding issues that the workers are raising.
Currently, all the workers have returned. They work obviously on a shift system, so half of whatever shift is working at the moment, those workers will be working. So essentially, work has resumed and everything has gone back to normal. There is an investigation, however, that comprises representatives from the Department of Water Affairs and the Labour Forum that will look into the complaints, the grievances that led to the strike in the first place. There is an investigation that has already begun, and once enough information has been gathered, a decision will be made.
Soweto police have rearrested a man who fled after being granted bail on a murder charge in 2003. The suspect is alleged to have shot his friend at a local tavern after an argument. The 29-year-old suspect was spotted in Zola last night by neighbors who informed the police. He will appear in the Protea Magistrates Court on Monday. Police spokesperson K. Makubele.
A suspect who absconded from 2003 after he committed a murder. Since then, he was on the run. But recently, he came back, and the community of our area, they notified the police immediately, and the man was cornered. He is in the cell. He's going to face his charges of murder and also charges of absconding.
The ANC will take up a mayoral position in the Cedarburg municipality on Tuesday after a recent by-election gave the party a 6-seat majority on the council. The DA has 2 seats while COPE and the PAC have 1 seat each. The PAC held the previous mayorship in coalition with the ANC. The ANC Provincial Secretary Songezo Mjongile explains.
After the by-election, wherein the ANC now had a majority in the municipality, we had then agreed with the PAC that the ANC will take the leadership of the municipality in terms of being mayor, and the PAC will then be deputy mayor.
President Jacob Zuma says he's looking forward to attending the Rugby World Cup final in New Zealand to watch the Springboks, adding that he's confident that the team will retain the Webb Ellis Trophy. He was speaking in an interview with SABC News in New York at the conclusion of his program at the United Nations.
They are the champs. Ever since they've gone there, they've not lost a single match. One match which they won in a professional manner was when they beat the Wales. Absolutely wonderful. Thereafter, Fiji. They also indicated that they are the big boys. And I'm sure also they meet our neighbors. Namibia. I'm sorry about that.
Well, I mean, I saw you with President Pohamba earlier today. There didn't seem to be too much friction.
No, it was just because he came closer. He's a very great friend of mine, no problem at all. But I think the Springboks really are indicating what they are made of.
For more news on your mobile phones, go to www.sabcmobile.co.za/news.